What's up, guys? We are Tottenham TV here. Great pleasure to have Ledley King here with us on the channel. Absolutely massive pleasure. We're going to do my best Spurs 11 here with Ledley King. Are you ready for this?
Ready for it, yeah.
All right, let's do it. We're going to go 4-4-2. All right, we'll start with the goalkeeper.
Ooh. First off, I find it really difficult to do this just because I play with so many great players, and to be honest, I think I change my lineup every season. I think it changes, right? So, as today, this is today's.
All right.
Today's.
For 2019.
I'm gonna go Paul Robinson in goal.
Oh, awesome. Right. Why is that?
He was obviously England's #1 for a period of time, and he was a fan's favourite. He was a top class goalkeeper. Great distribution with his feet. Obviously scored a couple of goals as well,
he did, didn't
which is good. And we're in Leeds, so
I see.
He's got
playing to the crowd. He had a great relationship with the fans as well, didn't he?
He did. Yeah.
Right back.
Right back. Stephen Carr. Stephen Carr. He was someone that was someone who come through the youth system. He was, when I was coming through, he was established, and I think he was probably the best fullback in the league at that point in time. Pace, tenacious in the tackle. He had great quality on the ball. He had a great right foot, great crosser of the ball, and I think really he had an injury that kind of slowed him down, and he wasn't really able to get back to his same levels, but before that, I thought he was the best in the league.
Okay, left back.
Left back. I'll probably have to go Asu Okoto.
That's an interesting choice.
Yeah, he was a real talent. He was. When he first came, he wasn't. He was quite vocal in terms of football was a job to him. But I think as he matured and he got a little bit older, he realised the importance of taking it really seriously and putting in as much as he could to improve himself. And I think he was able to do that under Harry when Harry came in. I think that his levels rocketed, and he was a player that had everything really. He's really good on the ball, great engine up and down, great quality, great left foot. So I'd say he was probably the best that I played with left back.
Wow. Okay, centre backs.
Centre backs, tough one. Tough one. I'm gonna go with Dawes because he was my
Mickey Dawes.
Yeah, he was my long time partner at the back, and he was someone that just put his body on the line for the team, week in, week out. He was a warrior, underrated on the ball. Good feet, good touch. Could pass, could hit that diagonal. That was his favourite
he loved
pass.
That diagonal.
Yeah,
maybe not as good as Toby, but
yeah, not quite. But I think Dawes was the one who started that.
I see.
So yeah, he's a favourite of mine for sure. And the other one I'd have to say was Woodgate. And similar to me, a lot of injury problems. But he was a class player, and the first time we ever played together was a Carling Cup final.
Was that the first time?
And yeah, we just we clicked straight away. And I just think we just had an understanding of the game. So yeah, he was a top player, and it's a shame that he had so many injuries because he was one of the best, but he would have been even better without the injuries. Yeah.
Do you think that was your best partnership when you were together, you and Woodgate? Do you think?
I think potentially it would have been. It would have been the strongest partnership, just in terms of. I think we was both at that age where we really understood the position really well. I think when Woody came in, I think he was both 27, or he might have been 28. But it's a great age for a defender. Really understands the game, and I think that's why we was able to still be able to play, even though our bodies were struggling. We used our brains and our knowledge of the game to kind of see us through. So, yeah, Woody.
Brilliant. Okay, right wing.
Right wing.
Few choices.
Yeah, there's loads. I played with Lennon, and to be honest, when Lennon was in his prime, he was unstoppable. terms of the pace that he had. He used to scare defenders to death, and he was such an asset for the team. But I'm going to have to put Ginola in, just in terms of just our ability, really. You know, Ginola he had left foot, right foot, strong, quick. You know, definitely probably the most talented player that I played with during my time at Tottenham. Probably, just so well balanced. And it's a shame that he's not actually playing in today's era, because you know, we grew up in the kind of 4-4-2 era where wingers had to track back a lot. You know, I think now in a 4-2-3-1, or if he was in a 4-3-3, and you know, he was able to attack and not have to come back as much or think about the defensive duties as much, I think he would have been even better. So, you know, for sure, he's one of the best I played with.
What was your reaction when he was sold back in 2000? Was it just, were you gutted?
Yeah, of course. You know, he's a nice guy, and I always got on with David. But you know, I understand the game, and I understand that, you know, players are always coming and going, and that's just part and parcel of the game. But you know, I was just pleased that I had a opportunity to kind of share some pitch time with him and see how good a talent he was. And to be honest, you know, when I was coming up through the youth team, we used to rush over after training and watch the first team train. And you know, David was the man that we wanted to see. You know, he had everything, and even in training, he was unbelievable.
Okay, on the left.
On the left, I mean, the left and right wingers, they can play both sides. You know. And I'm going to go Gareth Bale. Again, similar to David in terms of just someone who had everything: the size, could get up and down the pitch, unbelievable technique. You know, and he obviously joined the club, and he was more of a left back or a wing back, but you know, just flourished into an attacking phenomenon really during the time. And I think Harry deserves a lot of credit for kind of pushing him further forward, finding kind of a new role for him within the team. Even played central, down the middle, up front sometimes. But just a real athlete. And I think, you know, the year after I retired, and just before he went to Real Madrid, it's probably the best player I've seen for one season in a Spurs shirt that I can remember during my time. He was just unbelievable that season.
Was it when he was playing left back? Was that something were a lot of the players wondering why he's not playing further forward, or was it just you saw the qualities of him?
No, I think you know, he had the qualities to play wherever he wanted. You know, along the left, whether it was left back or left midfield, wing back, whatever it was, he had all the qualities needed. You know, because he had a wand of a left foot. You know, he was strong. He could run all day. So it was just finding his best fit for him, and you know, he managed to find that further up the pitch. And yeah, and it's funny now, you can't really imagine him playing left back, but I'm sure he could. That's the thing.
Hope to see him back soon, eh?
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Crossing our fingers. Central midfield?
Centre midfield. I'm going to go Luka Modric.
That's a good choice.
Luka Modric. Yeah, what a player. When he first came to the club, not many people knew him in England or in the Premier League. But we saw straight away what a talent he was during the training sessions, and it probably took him a little bit of time to really settle in and play his best football. But once he'd done that, he was unbelievable. He was, you know, he's a player that didn't give the ball away. Couldn't get the ball off him. And when he got confident and comfortable within the team, you know, we was able to see just how good he is, how good he was. You know, definitely one of the best in the world, without a doubt, in that position.
He was also another player who kind of changed position. He kind of came in, he started on the left a bit, trying to find his feet, and then he found his home at centre mid.
Yeah, and I think, you know, to get different managers, you see different things in players, and I think maybe, you know, one manager maybe thought he might have been a bit lightweight in the centre of midfield, so they put him kind of coming in off the left. but his favourite position was always just to play in front of the back four, because I think a lot of people thought that he actually was more of an attacking player when he joined the club, but he actually prefers playing deep, picking up the ball off the back and getting things getting things moving. And I think when he was able to get in his favourite position, he was able to see just how good he was.
Could you see him being a Ballon d'Or winner like he is now?
Probably not, just because a lot of the times players like him go under the radar in terms of getting the accolades that they deserve. Ballon d'Ors normally for
Messi or Ronaldo.
Messi or Ronaldo, in the last 7-8 years or so. So yeah, I'm delighted that people are able to recognise his talents and what he gives his teams. But yeah, I wouldn't have said that just due to the fact that you don't see too many defenders win it and or holding midfield players. But yeah, no, I'm delighted for.
And the other central midfield option?
Ooh, it's a tough one. I'll probably have to go with Edgar Davids, just on his pedigree and what he's achieved. And he probably joined Tottenham when he was past his best. But what he did bring was a desire to the team, because we was a young team at the time when he came in, and I think a lot of the young players learned from him what it took to be a true professional. He'd often spend time on the training pitch after training with young players, working on their game, and he brought that mentality, that winning mentality to the club. I know we didn't go on to win much in terms of trophies, but I believe he took us to the next level in terms of our mentality.
We really started challenging for top four when he came in.
And that was one of the first conversations I had with him. We sat down at the lunch table and he asked me, "Can we win anything?" And that resonated with me, because he's a player that had won everywhere he'd been, and his first question was he wanted to come here and win. He wasn't coming to rest on his laurels. Even though he was a bit older, he was still coming to compete and to try and win things, and that was great.
He's a tough one. Who are you going to go for up front?
Very tough. This week it's very tough. I'm just going to name a few strikers that I played with, and then I'm going to have to narrow it down to the two.
Oh, we've got time.
Jermaine Defoe, Teddy Sheringham, Robbie Keane, Berbatov, Ferdinand.
Unbelievable strikers.
I haven't actually put Van der Vaart in the team because it was a 4-4-2.
It's true. I haven't
and
really
it doesn't
really.
He doesn't. His favourite position is kind of
sometimes.
It's a false. I could squeeze him in as a false nine, but I'm going to go for two out-and-out type strikers instead. It's a tough one. I'm going to go with two players that I probably spent more time with. So, Robbie Keane, for me, an underrated player.
Yeah.
He had everything in terms of he could run in behind defenders or he could come short and play. He was such an intelligent player, could create goals, he had that craft to score from 30 yards, but then he'd be in the box for the tap-ins as well. And
good 20 goal season.
Yeah, and I spent a long time in my career playing with Robbie. So Robbie's number one.
Do you feel something changed with Robbie when he returned to the club? Do you feel there was a change in him?
There's no doubt he found it tougher coming back when he went to Liverpool and when he came back from Liverpool. Yeah, but Robbie was someone who came into training every day, worked hard. And there's no doubt it wasn't as successful the second time when he came back, but he had that mentality. The fans loved him. You know, he cared about the club, and you know, anytime you have him around, you know, the training ground, the club, it was always positive. And you got to remember, Robbie started his career really early, so you know sometimes that happens to players when they start early, and when you have such a long career, you can have a period of time where you can go through a bit of a tough spell, and I think Robbie was able to kind of come out of that again, and then went to America and just scored goals for fun there again. So you know, he was just someone who loved playing football and loved scoring goals, and you know, it was no surprise for me to see him play, keep playing for so long.
And his partner?
The partner, wow. Okay, right. Defoe was an unbelievable finisher, so he was just out and out best finisher that I played with.
Yeah.
Les was just so tough to play against in terms of physical, great in the air, quick, strong. He could give you, like, he could destroy you. I remember playing against him for West Ham, and he gave me a torrid time. Then Berbatov was pure silk, just so smooth to play with. I'm going to put Teddy in there.
Teddy.
Because of what he means to the Tottenham fans, and the amount of games he played for the club. Again, similar to Robbie, intelligent player. Couldn't go in behind as much as Robbie could, but you know, that same kind of ability to drop off and bring people into play. Just great technique, great touch, you know, one step ahead in his head. You know, scored all types of goals, very good in the air, underrated in the air. And he was someone that when I was young, he was there, he was one of the leaders in the team, so you know, I looked up to him, so I got to Teddy.
All right. That's an unbelievable 11. Thank you so much.
Took a while, didn't it?
Yeah.
To get through that.
No, that was good. I really enjoyed that. Let us know in the comments below what you think of Ledley's 11, if you agree or disagree. And as always, come on you Spurs.